Today on Schmindian, we're making a dish that has its roots all the way back to Genghis Khan. I'm talking about keema. It's a big old bowl of spicy, delicious meat. Let's make it. Welcome to Schmindian, I'm your host Paul Singh, and this is Indian Food Demystified, aka Indian Food for Schmucks. Today we are talking about the intimidatingly delicious, surprisingly historic, and extremely versatile dish, keema. It's a big pile of meat. It's what it is. Now I am a North Indian Punjabi, so I'm used to eating vegetarian dishes with the occasional chicken dish. That's what I grew up eating, that's what I eat now. So when my mom made keema for the first time when I was a kid, I was really surprised. I had red meat before, burgers and whatnot, but I like this, not Indian style. And I must say it did blow my socks off back then, and still now. Now, as I said before, the story of keema has its roots all the way back to Genghis Khan. More on that in a second. But the story of Indian food in general is the story of conquerors. India has been conquered over and over again through time. Alexander the Great conquered India, as did the Portuguese. So did the British. The British Raj lasted all the way up to 1947. Before Gandhi showed up and kicked him out. But all of these conquering nations left their mark on India. You can still see echoes of them to this day. You can see it in the art, the architecture, the literature, and the food. India has been conquered so much that the Portuguese Empire and the Mughal Empire actually conquered it at the same time. And keema was brought to India by the Mughals. Shout out to my Harry Potter fans. And the Mughal Empire was founded in Uzbekistan by the descendants of Genghis Khan. After Genghis Khan died, his empire was divided up amongst his relatives into tribes or khanates. And the word Mughal comes from Mongol. Genghis Khan was the leader of the Mongols, and the Mughals came from the Mongols. The founder of the Mughals was a guy named Babur, who was descended from a guy named Timur, who was descended from Genghis Khan. That's how the Mughals came to be. And in the 1500s, the Mughals conquered India, and they hung out there for a while, like 200 years. And they brought with them this dish. By the 1500s, the Mughals had converted to Islam, and were based in the Middle East before they made their way to India. And so keema is the cousin of the Middle Eastern dish, kebab. And that's the story of keema. It's pretty interesting if you ask me. You can eat it on its own if you're a savage. You can also eat it with rice, which is great. You can also bake it into a paratha like this. Or you can use it as stuffing for a samosa like this. But the way I like to eat it is with a good old-fashioned Indian naan like this. And every time I eat it, I do think of Genghis Khan. So now that you're caught up on the history of keema, let's make this thing. A round of applause for our ingredients. You've got ginger, garlic, dried chilies, onion, tomato, any ground meat of your choice, potato, lime, fresh coriander, frozen peas, and Cubanelle pepper. Like I said before, you can use whatever ground meat that you want. I was going to make this out of lamb, but the store I went to was out of lamb. And then I saw this other meat. It was bison meat. And I thought, that's actually a good metaphor for Indian cooking. Because in Indian cooking, you use what you have close by. So in my case, lamb was not close by, but bison was. So I'm going to do what my Indian forefathers have done for centuries, which is use what I have. I will use bison. First things first, we have to peel the ginger. I like to use the spoon scraping method. I've found this the best method. So just take a spoon and scrape off the skin. Now we're just going to cut it into a couple of chunks before we food process it. Now we're going to peel our garlic. I'm going to smash it with my knife. Cut that in half. Aromatics in Indian cooking are very important. Garlic, ginger, onions. This is sort of like the Mirepoix of Indian food. And we're bringing out Big Fred, the food processor. There you go. And just scrape this out. So while we've got the food processor out, I'm just going to throw my onion in there as well. So just peel this, cut it into chunks, and then toss it in. Get a big old wok, a couple tablespoons of oil, about medium to low heat. And goes the ginger and the garlic, as well as our 2 dried peppers. Onions back in line. We're going to cook the ginger and garlic until it's just getting brown. Be careful not to burn it, you don't want to start over. As soon as it starts to turn a little bit brown, that's when we add the onions. You also want to add a teaspoon of salt at this point. The salt not only adds flavor, but it helps the onions to lose their moisture, which is what we want because When moisture leaves onions, they become sweet, which is really nice. Just give them a couple stirs while they're cooking. While the onions are cooking, we're going to dice up our tomatoes. Just cut them in half, half again, and maybe like a couple more cuts. So the way to tell when the onions are done is to smell it. If you still smell that kind of oniony, acidy smell, they're not done yet. We have to cook that smell out of them. That smell means that there's still moisture in the onions, and we don't want that. It's a bit of a game of cooking, stirring, and waiting. By cooking the onions and aromatics down like this, it creates a ton of umami. Yep, that smell is now gone, so we're going to put the tomatoes in. We're going to cook this all together and break the tomatoes down with our spoon, and that's going to be our masala. The tomatoes are getting soft, so I'm just going to smush them with my spoon. Now the fun part, we're going to add our spices. 1 teaspoon of turmeric, or turmeric, whatever you like to call it. 2 teaspoons of paprika. Teaspoon of salt. Half a teaspoon of black pepper. 2 big old teaspoons of garam masala. Garam masala is the key to all Indian cooking. That's the spice. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, hell yeah. Let's go. That's a good looking masala right there. In goes the bison. India is really strange when it comes to their dietary habits because Hindus can't eat cow. Muslims can't eat pigs. Jains can't eat anything. Look up Jainism, see what they do. But, you know, bison, I think everyone can eat bison. Oh, potatoes. Forgot about the potatoes. You know what? I lied about the potatoes. We don't need 2, we just need 1. I'm just looking at it now and 1 will do. Let's peel this. We're going to cut the potato into cubes. There we go. Squeeze in half a lime. Mix it all together. Everyone looks extremely happy. The bison and the potatoes and the masala are all getting along extremely well. This is good. We're going to add in a 1/4 cup of water. We're going to put it on low heat, cover it, and let it steam for about 5-7 minutes or so. You should be able to cut one of the potatoes with a butter knife. That's what we're looking for. While that's happening, we're going to dice up our coriander. Cut off most of the stems. Not that much stem you can cut off. We're going to fold this in half and then dice the crap out of it. You want a nice fine dice on the coriander. Give it 1 run through, another run through. You can put in the coriander and the peas at this point. Mix that all together. All right, the potatoes are now soft, so our keema is cooked. So last step is to slice the pepper really thinly and put it on top. It adds some brightness and freshness to it. It's a big bowl of meat, you know what I mean? You gotta put some kind of vegetable in there. Look at that, we did it. Keema. Big bowl of meat. Big bowl of delicious Indian meat from Genghis Khan.
All right, now let's see what my dad thinks.
There you go. So, good cook. Very tender, not too spicy. For somebody's taste, if somebody likes spicy food, they could add a little more hot chilies or a little more salt.
Oh, you think it should be more spicy?
No, I won't do it for myself.
You would not do it for yourself?
No, I wouldn't put anything more in this one here.
So you wouldn't make any changes? Or would you make a change?
No, I think this is good. The way it is now.
You seem unconvincing. I think you seem like you want to change it somewhat.
No, I didn't say. I said this is good tender meat.
Okay.
I'll have it for my lunch.
Okay.
It's good. It's good meat. Good food. Okay. Good for lunch.
Okay, you can eat your lunch then, Dad.
1 more.
Okay. This has been Schmindian, and we just demystified keema. We run Indian food on YouTube. Have a good day.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Dad.
Did I do okay?
Yep.